So would you say, which touches on the next question, you start with a melody and then you write the lyrics, and like what meaning do lyrics have for you, like in a song? Because for me, I feel like when I listen to your music, I always see it's like I see a picture, but more like a movie. Like I have scenes in my head and like imagine, and I have no idea if you're imagining the same, but I have like a version of the song in my brain. So do you have that as well when you're writing it, or do you know what story you want to tell?
I would say oftentimes the beginning, sort of like the spark, is sort of this meld of, it's like when I'm writing and I have a melody come out, like a word will just come, or it's sort of like a sound, it's like a vowel sound or something that, okay, I know that I want to sing this note on this vowel, and then a word will just come, and then that'll kind of invite me into an idea or an emotional space that I want to explore. Um, and then and then I do really get down to the brass tacks when it comes to like the words. And it's the hardest thing for me about co-writing is that I am so particular about the words. And for me, like I love to work in metaphor, and I really like things to come full circle. Like I just know there's a feeling when I've written a verse that feels done. It's like, okay, that's done. There's this beautiful thing that's been painted, and I've said everything I wanted to say. But I have explored other things recently just because this whole idea about painting is really fascinating to me. And so I've been doing a lot of work with this particular book called Writing Better Lyrics. This guy named Pattison, and he has this whole thing about sensory writing. And so there's an exercise that I do often when I'm just trying to get started and kind of getting the juices flowing, where you do something called object writing. So it's like, pumpkin maybe is the word of the day, and then you sit and you describe the pumpkin and how it smells, how it might taste, how it feels in your hands, how it feels, how heavy it is. And that is like a great way, I think, to get into just like that kind of descriptive writing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But yeah, then when it comes to, the second verse and kind of wrapping up the idea, yeah, I do really think about it, and I use rhyme zone, and I get really into it in terms of
Yeah.
what rhymes. But I heard something recently that was really cool. That was something about how, and this has given me a lot more freedom as a writer. I think maybe it was Bono talking about how it's actually really generous as a writer to sort of leave questions unanswered,
Mm.
or like narratives unresolved, because like you're
Unresolved. Yeah.
saying, it kind of gives the listener a chance to complete it for themselves and to sort of bring meaning in their own way. So whereas I used to be the kind of writer that wanted to like very nicely wrap something up in a bow and it all sort of felt like a completed package, I'm getting more comfortable now with like just letting the song be a question and sort of
Yeah.
a muse and a meditation, and I think, that's unavoidable these days. Like it's hard to know what's true, it's hard to know the answer, and sometimes the answer is the question.
Yeah, totally. And